Hello and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 3 and Black Ice version 11.3.5 and the Germany campaign. And where we left off, we'd taken over the Soviet Union and we are a bit in advance time-wise. Not a lot's really been happening. I've been building up a huge air force, a huge amount of submarines. We're going to strategically bomb Britain into obliteration. But we also are trying to take Gibraltar, and the Allies are landing shed tons of troops in southern Spain, and they're all being killed and repulsed. So that's quite fun. I am enjoying this with, but we've got something really fun that we're about to do. So, the invasion of Afghanistan is ready. We took Mongolia, Tanatuva, and Zanjing. They are all now, or Jiang. No, wait, how do you pronounce that? There is a correct way to do that, and I'm just forgetting it because I'm a bit of a moron. But yeah, I am quite happy with the way things are going. Iraq has now joined the faction as well, so we took Oman, we've taken all of the Arabian Peninsula, so we're looking really good. But a move into the Indian subcontinent beckons. So we can call to arms Afghanistan. And we do, I think, still have... Yes, we do have our air assets still in the area. So once we get a decent airfield, that will be of great help to us. So, let us move on through. Now, in some other interesting news, Italy managed to take Malta, which is awesome. That is some great news. So if we can take Gibraltar, then the Mediterranean gets completely sealed off, which is brilliant. Now, let's take some of our forces. And let's rather methodically move on through. Now, this isn't going to finish off Britain. It is worth noting that this won't kind of be the end point. But between us and the fact that Japan has just conquered Burma and is now moving with literally no units facing it into British land proper, that is pretty damn good going. Now, we did also fight back a minor invasion up here at Archangel, because they did land there in a kind of in a repeat of like the Russian Civil War when the Brits landed in the northern areas over here. It's quite funny, I thought. So, yeah, pretty cool. Right, so the governor has been taken out. Good. And yeah, you're a 43 level, so yeah, we're going to let things roll. We're doing all the tech that we can do, so we're doing literally all 1943 level techs. We don't have anything... We've got a couple of things at 1942, like jet fighters and things, but yeah, we're doing a little bit on the nuclear stuff, but yeah, nothing crazy. And, well, let's see if they're going to try and push out. They're moving a lot of units down there. I think they've realised how fucked they are. Right, air support, level 4. Ah, nice. Right. Yeah, I think we're doing literally all the 1943 techs that we can. We are well and truly on it. I hope everyone's doing well, though. I've really enjoyed this campaign so far. I'm not sure how much longer, realistically, it has left in it. Like, I can keep going and, you know, I'm quite liking taking out India. But, Britain, like, it might be fun, but I'm not wed to it. And damn, this guy's got a load of different modifiers, and that's the Gulf of Tonkin back. So, thank you very much. Okay. Brilliant. Okay, are we over the river? Towards Rapaldi? We are. Now, while we're not facing any immediate resistance, Islamabad. Like, if we can kind of clean out all of this, like without, like, this is mountains and stuff. Once we break out of there, there's some more mountains, but there's plains in this part of the world, and we can very quickly link up with the Japanese. Any more invasions? Not currently. And we actually don't need to do this for a change. We have got a green set of everything really across the board, which is kind of cool. Apart from fuel, we are suffering a little bit on that one, but oh well, it's not the end of the world. Now, if you were to be attacked, yeah, so they've got 20 units in here. Now, we did get them down to like 5 at one point, and then they've been continuously landing. The 2nd Panzer Division? Traitors! Well, that's with an S, so I'm going to assume that that's a Norwegian tank battalion. Right, so and really, the aim of the game here is going to be to try and keep things moving as quickly as possible. And an Indian Armoured Brigade wants to try and have a go. Well, good on him. Now, what does supply and things look like? There's, you know, like, that's not too bad infrastructure. That's okay. We can work with that. So, yeah, 43, Panzer Grenadier, Kampfgruppe. Yeah, we are like running out of text to do. So, we're going to probably pivot back over to doing more espionage work soon. Doing well? Yep. And we keep getting attacked here. They keep going for it. Maybe one day they'll make it work. Now, the other reason we're taking India is it's going to have a really quite massive impact on their manpower situation in Britain, because a pretty substantial amount of manpower comes from India. So, it is an important aspect that if we can take it, we deprive them of one of their major manpower areas. And that's a very nice little movement round there, just to get them out of the way. And the snow is falling all around me. Okay. Right, we don't need to do food rationing. Okay. And I'm looking for... There it is. There was an uprising.
Retreating from the regions from which they have been captured.
God, and that battle was not fun. Okay, beautiful. Take them round the corner.
One thing, and that is that in a very few days, those remaining in Poland in the army will capitulate, will lay down their weapons.
And you can see Kaipur is what we're looking for. And Karachi, we're providing something for our good buddy over here to whack his head against, Mr. John Azelwood. Yeah, we'll keep the nuclear program coming. We are using it to try and get some improvements for our own nuclear tech. We are a little bit behind in a couple of spots, so A bit of help on that score wouldn't be the end of the world.
Without any defeat, then that is not only luck, but our wonderful accomplishment in the field of military campaign.
Okay, yeah, that was good. So yeah, we are, I mean, we're banging control of this. And we have Zeitzler, who is taking on this particular endeavor now. We've created another army HQ just to go help with this. And we haven't lost that many troops yet. And I'm afraid cavalry ain't gonna do the business. And yeah, more stupid rebellions. I wish I could say it was something I was overly worried about. I'm not. The Royal Navy have returned. Another Marine division gets thrown into the meat grinder. You know, because if they all lose, you know, like 20% strength every time they attack, then they're gonna have a bad time. Like, the aim will be to see... In fact, we can check this quick. So, should we be naughty and try something? So, tag... I don't even remember the thing. Ing? Oh, there you go. So, yeah. We've got a lot of manpower to bleed through before we get there. Let's go have a little look, like, at what they've got. So, they have the Army of India Command, which is 1 million men. Like, that is a sizable amount of forces, and the majority of them are on the mainland. So, and how does it rate its chances? The Singapore HQ doesn't rate its chances at all well. The Army of India, well, they think they can defend for a while, but it looks like a losing battle. So that's something. And then what about like the British grouping over here? Lots of very angry looking individuals. Okay, well that was fun. So tag ja. Well, I enjoyed that. We can tag in and out like a nutcase. Oh, Mongolia army and army. Tanatuva? Eee. Tanatuva. Army? No, Slovakia. Who's next? Okay, anyone else? And army? That was Tanatuva. I think that's it. Okay, so the attack on Kuznodar. Mugzugda. My pronunciations are not my strong suit sometimes. I try. Mazugga. Well, how would you like Mazadugara? Mazadugara? Not sure. Right, basing. 44, sure. A little bit more in officers. Like, let's keep that ratio going up because we are in a combat scenario. And I'm loving this weird world I've created. Okay, and we've just taken the health center. Okay, battlefield modified armor. Okay. Well done, everyone. This is a nice little organizer. And some Mexicans. They've been landing a lot as well, but we've pushed them back every time. Now, we might pull out at some point to let them expand out, because we effectively are trying to beat them back. And that river makes one hell of a difference. And, the T-38 is now... Ooh. Right. We are giving up a little bit on resources to build things out. Okay, and Jaeger Division, sure. And we're moving into Lahore. So we've got Lahore and Delhi and Bikinia. So I very much doubt that the Brits can handle a two-front war on this kind of basis. They've got a fair amount of troops over here in this part of the world. But with our own forces moving up quite nicely, like, it's effectively been a couple of weeks and we are well and truly moving through. On Vikes. And I see that there is a cavalry division there that is just broken in our face. And the key thing will be is we'll be on the border of Nepal before too long. Okay. Lots of text finishing up. Okay, Medina Sidona. Fighter ground crew, good. Take that off and put a little bit more into officers. We could get a really quite ludicrous officer ratio if we weren't careful. Like, we've got 321,000 officers. That's a sizable amount. Okay, and we are destroying resistance bases left, right, and center. Now, and yes, we do have a lot of random units. Now, the Luftwaffe Kriegsmarine garrisons, you can delete them. But everything else, so like you, what have you got now? Got an armoured battalion, an SP artillery. It's a decent unit. The 8th is now mechanised. Got some Marders. Nice. And the 6th Panzer. Okay. Got the starts of like a new Panzer group there. Well, an amendment to the existing Panzer group, let's put it that way. And we're now moving out of Pakistan and into India. Because we are now approaching Delhi. Gun turrets advance 45. Yeah, we've got some pretty crazy good tech now. Like, I'm wondering, you know, like, because we get some really big negatives on our nuclear research, but if we could get there, that would be pretty crazy, you know, and we want to get towards weapons of mass destruction because that might be the only way to knock the Brits out. Though, I must say, they do only have a national unity now of 80%. So taking India is not going to help that. That is going to be a major problem for them. We've got Delhi, so... Alwar. And Meerut. I like the images. Agra, so there's the Taj Mahal, which is kind of cool. Like, they got some really good images, like, all across this area, like, in the mod. I like looking at India. Like, it's always a really, really fun, like, area to look at the pictures for. Like, all these historical photos of, like, major landmarks and different places. It's really cool. Right, so the 8th Army and just a Italian grouping. Right, so you can only do level 3 there. Let's move that way. Okay. We'll like it. Gel Nils. Now the Brits are not being particularly effective at the moment. And we can consider an encirclement move. And we are making much more money than we're losing at the moment. Alright, aerodynamics. Both of those are at 45. We're wasting a little bit on production. We could build more heavy bombers, and to be honest with you, we probably will. Let's... How many can we get? Probably another 20? No, 10? Build another 15. Yeah, another 15. So it's another strategic bombing wing. And that might be the angle that we go down for finishing Britain. And is that a... Aw, Turkey. You crazy sons of bitches. Did you just land a unit? Oh, I'm so proud of you. Right, the Calais section. So, 21k money. 5,500 metal. Well, the metal is nothing. Seems like the spends for, like, money is really high for that. Like, I guess it would cost a lot, wouldn't it, to build a big impenetrable wall of guns. Right, let's see what that does. So yeah, that gets a very and the 5th Panzer Army. So what we're going to do is we do have all these heavy AA and things, and we do have a plan with them. We're planning to put them into some of our units around here. Italy just can't do that final push. Oh, the Hermann Goering division. He wants lots of upgrades. He wants all of the upgrades. Okay, we're starting to make some losses, and there you go. Nice. Good victory. Now the hope will be that we can do a little bit of jiggery-pokery here, because there might be an opportunity to do so. Yeah, so there's quite a lot of distance to cover. I see Japan is slowly moving up. It's getting there. They got a lot of units, that's the only problem over there. Okay, brilliant. So... So advanced armor designs. Now what we are going to do is we are going to do armor plate thickness and side shields and armor. There are two texts I didn't realize I wasn't doing. I'm doing this one now because speed isn't quite as important, and we do want to get the ability to make heavy armor, because worst case scenario we might need it to push through this. Well, I mean, as you can see, they are building this out. Like, they're going for it. Now if they stopped attacking here and went here, my plan, by the way, everyone, is to get them to go over to here, and then I want to be able to push them back. But they're not exactly making that easy. But we will see. Twin engine ground crew, so I can take another bit away there. Was there any, like, tanks or anything that I'm missing in here? I guess there's light armor there. Let's slip through the net. Oh, 42. Oh, that one nearly went. And bearing in mind I'm making heavy bombers, I shouldn't... Ah, all of these. I didn't even realise. Well, we can take things away to do these, because we're in a good position to do so. Now, we could start on some naval techs as well. That would be the only other thing that we could consider. But we won't worry about it for now. Okay, and Hell is making some decent speed. He's a desert genius, apparently. This guy's like an all-terrain god. He can do marine landings, and he's a desert genius, and he likes fighting on... is this the guy that was also... Yep, he's a winter specialist as well. He's good in all weathers. The king of weather. Bless him. Let's just make sure that no one can get into our rear lines. Small navigation radar. Some tech on there. And our manpower situation, after a bit of a dodgy start, they've tried a different tactic. Well, that's okay, because we have some of their own equipment that we can send up there. This is why Spain being in the conflict is always a bit of an iffy one, because they can do lots of things unless you keep your mind open to stuff like this. So, yeah, Britain can be a pain in the ass. Like, they know the Soviets were defeated, right? They have no way of winning. Stop that, but we will lend a hand there. And then we will surround this. Because what we can do is we can send a huge amount of our units. Oops. You guys can head down in this direction. Lend a hand there, and then you can head towards this way, you can head that way, you can head this way. Ah, a US 10th Air Group. Well, howdy doody. And what do we think of the 10th under Ralph Bagnold? Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Ralph. With a name like Ralph, I'm sure we'll be fast friends. you know, with 2,000 men, probably, I would imagine it's, yeah, maybe 3,000 men. It's quite impressive that he's putting up that much of a defiance. Right, let's move that around there. Move you down there. Yes, our iron grip will not be silenced. Now let's move the Spanish unit over here. Along with you. Like, we just want to make sure all the defenses are manned. Like, this will hold off a force of attacking kind of Brits for a long time if they try it. Okay.
Lemberg und nordwärts. Und in diesem Augenblick marschieren
And they are trying to attack there, like that. These two units here will easily crush that if we ask them to.
Today, there are thousands of columns.
So from our starting points, we've gone about 500 kilometers, which is, hey, that's a lot.
And these troops are now retreating from the regions from which they have been captured.
And they are up to a pretty sizable loss percentage. Right, self-propelled artillery brigade. Ooh, and jet airframe.
Remaining in Poland in the army will capitulate, will lay down their weapons, and will also be taken captive.
Staat von 36 Millionen Einwohnern. Und diese militärische Stärke in 4 Wochen restlos vernichtet wird. Und wenn in dieser ganzen Zeit für den Sieger nicht ein einziger Rückschlag eintritt.
Yeah, we're not that far off now. What about our bombing? Yes, there you go. November 8th.
Höchste Ausbildung, beste Führung und todesmutigster Tapferkeit.
He has just
That
said
is
that when we succeeded
awesome.
in conquering a state of 36 million inhabitants in 1 month without any defeat, then that is not only luck, but our wonderful accomplishment in the field.
Okay, and these units are going to get dealt with. So that's something. Right, naval air targeting. Fighters. Artillery carriage. Have we got all of that? Yeah, we do. So we can take that off and put it on there. Our new rubber factory is ready for production. We're now using all of the production we can. We're building all the strategic bombers. You know, if we just have more strategic bombers than they have people, then that'll do the job, right? And I can see that there is an attempted counterattack from some Dutch units that must have been out of strike range when the time came. Why do I feel like I'm fighting the Peninsular War? Gaze now is not going to be the most effective, and that's another four manpower done there. So indoor. And there's some horrific marshland that we're dealing with here. Now, Hell is one hell of a commander and should be able to break the deadlock here as long as he's careful. all of our commanders are pretty decent, it must be said. They don't really provide much by the way of effective defenses. How are we doing over here? I really want you to get a move on, Japan. Like, if you can break out of here, then that makes my life over here a lot easier. Because I'm not having to deal with your bullshit anymore at that point. And I'd like the amount of stock they're putting into one garrison division by Portugal. Ah, Hyderabad. So that's always a really interesting one. I don't know where that was, but they've got a one hell of a good little cricket team, or they used to. Okay. And we're kind of living out the Russian wet dream here, which was like to invade British India from the subcontinent. If there's one person you wouldn't want involved with this, it would be Reichenau. That'd be terrifying. And then, so yeah, if we can cut those off, there'll be a couple of divisions taken out. Oh, and a Canadian division wanted to drop by, lend a hand, volunteer at self-destruction. Ground attack tactics. 44. Yeah, self-propelled artillery's already being done, so we're all good. We are well and truly sorted. And that's a light armoured unit with no, like, infantry brigade. Ouch. Gonna struggle. Okay. Okay, and mountain units really are the best for what we're trying to achieve here. Right, battlefield interdiction, twin engine armaments, sure. And, yep, self-propelled. So a little bit more in officers, if you please. So nearly an additional 100,000 more officers than we need, which is, hey, it's quite something. Okay, and they're falling back to Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad? 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 Ahmedabad, I think. So that's something as well. Good on him. They're attempting. And we're moving past the Taj Mahal now. Oh, ammunition capacity 45, sure. So self-propelled rocket artillery. So we need that to be at least 3 to get it. So we're a little bit away. Can't get that. Tremendous firepower techniques. Make artillery shells blow out the sun. Isn't it blot? I think it's blot out the sun. Okay, and there goes Delhi. And not the kind that's full of lovely deli meat. Okay, so Agra, Lucknow, nice curries come from that. So we've got national unity of 79%. Ottawa. Now, the other frontier that we'll eventually get when Sweden eventually joins us, because they're not that far away now, is we'll get the ability to take Norway out of the equation as well, which will help us immensely. We're up to nearly 60, so we're at 66% of victory provinces, which is quite something. Something about monsoons clearing. Let's move you down. You've got an infantry tank, which is why you move quite slowly. The Panzerkampfwagen 4. So, yeah, we've got an opportunity here to cut off a few things because the Japs are now moving up towards Chittagong, Agra. So if the Japanese meet us at that point, that's going to be really, really good. And I think we're going to try and cut the country in half here, because this Panzer Division can make really quick progress if we wanted to. Okay, let's try and take out this unit here. Yeah, and our division is much better than Arthur Power's unit. Great name, by the way. We are finding resistance cells left, right, and center. Oh, and we didn't need to worry too much about this. The Spanish went and dealt with it themselves. Speaking of going to deal with it themselves, I assume that the Great Cuban attack isn't going to be overly effective. Very funny. Okay. So, Venezuela. You're drifting towards the Allies. Colombia. You're drifting towards the Allies. And Ecuador? You're going towards the Allies as well. So, we're starting to lose out on some of the other countries in this part of the world. We get El Salvador. They're at war with us, so... And Nicaragua is in the Allies as well, so there's a whole allied... Yeah, so all these guys are allied nations. We could think about trying to move on up through, because we've got Brazil, Peru, and Argentina, who are the big ones, really. Like, these smaller nations, we could easily take them out. Chile, yeah, you're going that way as well. It's a crying shame. It wouldn't take much, would it? Right, 44, self-propelled. Yeah, and where we got so many techs and things done. And that, I think, will have done the job. That tank division will not be left long for this earth. Especially not with Hell doing his best. Ooh, a high velocity gun. And we can do armor piercing ballistic cap. Or APRC, I think it is. Medium armor designs. Lovely. We like all this. And I'm going to assume that some of you are going to be done relatively soon. You are. Let's take Agra. And I think we'll end the episode on taking, I think, the Taj Mahal. Because taking Delhi, that's a very symbolic victory. And taking that out is also going to be a symbolic victory. Just won that Fonterra. Twin engine transport plane. How is Britain looking now? 79%. They are getting there. Like, bearing in mind they're at 38% surrender progress. Like, and there's a few little provinces over here that, well, it wouldn't do any harm, would it? But, like, once we take, so 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 25, 22, no, sorry, 26, after that 27, 28, like 28 victory provinces up for grabs over here still. Oh, it wanted to crash. Oh, I felt that. Right, let's drop a save. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I look forward to seeing the next episode of Hearts of Iron 3. Thanks again. Bye-bye.